Fresno State got their season off to an incredible start with an upset win over Purdue. And for those of us who have followed the Fresno State program, it shouldn't really be a surprise. And especially with what we expected from Purdue, I think that you maybe thought this could go one way, but I think that this program needed a little bit of time. So we'll dive into that a little bit here. Fresno State is a team that is no stranger to pulling up upsets against Power Five programs. Just ask UCLA how that goes when Jake Haener was still there. The Bulldogs play the game with no fear, and it doesn't matter what the score is. It doesn't matter who's scored or what the deficit is. They will bounce back. And I think that the perfect example was it was 21-17. Purdue gets the kick return for a touchdown to put it 28-17, and Fresno State doesn't go anywhere. In fact, they hunker down, they dig their feet in, and they just come back and fight. And it's really fun to watch this program because you look at a team that lost quite a bit of talent and they are trying to just recreate the magic that you had under previous players. So I think that one player we have to highlight is Mikey Keane, and we'll dive more into his play later in this video. But Mikey Keane was one of the best additions in the transfer portal already. Now, maybe that's an overstatement, and really week one is all about overreactions and just getting really excited. But Mikey Keene appears to be a great fit for Fresno State, and his go-ahead touchdown was kind of familiar to what we saw when Jake Haener beat UCLA. The comeback or the back shoulder throw was very, very familiar, and that was really fun to see. Now, on the Purdue side of things, Deion Burks had a huge game. I thought he was very impressive. His ability to make big plays. He just torched Fresno State's defense. They had no answer for him. But in the end, you're looking at a Fresno State team that does not fear Power Five opponents. They have no, I don't think they have any awareness that they're supposed to be the underdog. And that's what makes this game so much fun because Fresno State is very exciting to watch. They're a fun team to follow if you haven't followed them. And now the Big Ten knows that Fresno State can not only beat Pac-12 teams, but they can beat Big Ten teams as well. And I think if you're Ryan Walters, that's not the ideal start to your tenure as a head coach. But I think that this wasn't really a surprise. When you look at what Purdue had coming back, you lost a ton of talent. And I think that Hudson Card obviously needs a little bit of time to get used to this new system, but he was okay. I think that your defense is really where you had concerns. A lot of people were concerned about what this Purdue defense could do in 2023. I thought that they maybe needed a little bit of time to get going. And, there's a reason why you bring Ryan Walters in and what he can do for this program to be able to elevate them. The biggest thing is his impact on the defense, and it's going to take some time. It won't happen overnight, but you obviously don't want to take too long because then games like this happen. And like I said, the offenses weren't necessarily the problem. Purdue's offense was pretty decent. And, Hudson Card didn't put up the biggest numbers, 254 yards and two touchdowns, but he made some really nice throws. And sometimes it's all about just getting your playmakers the ball and letting them do most of the work. And I think that he did that really well. I think that he was a exciting player to watch because almost at times too, you kind of forget about him because you just give it to a guy like Deion Burks, let him do most of the work. But he did make some nice passes. So there is something to be said about that. He just got outplayed by Mikey Keene. And I think one of the best things for Mikey Keene was his time at UCF when he got to play. I think that his ability to play for the Knights helped him in this moment because it wasn't him taking over for the first time. It wasn't his first start. It wasn't his first action. He knew what to expect. And he knew that even though I'm in a new system, he knows that he's going to take hits. He knows what that feels like, and he knows how to play. And I think that he goes into Jeff Tedford's system, which is a better fit for his skill set. Gus Malzahn's system, not exactly a passer friendly system. So you come over to Tedford's offense and you saw the results already. What does that mean long term? I think you're looking at a guy who can replicate what Jake Haener did, maybe even be a little bit better. That's probably an overreaction after 1 week, but the numbers are really exciting. It's 366 yards and four touchdowns. I didn't expect that from Mikey Keene. I thought he was going to be good. I predicted that Fresno State would win this game. I thought that they would be able to pull off the upset. But I did not expect this type of performance from Mikey Keene. I thought it would be more of a team effort, and maybe Keene makes a play or two here and there, but he did more than that. He was absolutely phenomenal, and he was a big reason why this team was able to win. And you kind of have to tip your hat to Purdue because they did whatever they could at special teams, offense. You tried everything, and Fresno State just kept coming back. And Keene was a big reason for that. And we saw his best skill set on display. You saw him throw on the run. One of the best things that he can do is throw on the run. And you saw a really good blend his ability to throw passes standing in the pocket, rolling out. You saw a lot of exciting things. And his favorite target was Eric Brooks. Eric Brooks had a huge game, and I did not expect that from him. I thought he'd be more of that possession receiver that you get pick up first downs when you need it, average 10, 12 yards per catch. But nope, 9 catches for 170 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was a big time playmaker for Fresno State, and Purdue had no answer for him. And obviously, Fresno State didn't have any answer for Deion Burks, but I don't know what to tell you other than you got to just go back to the drawing board and figure it out because both sides obviously have things to work on. Both it's week one. Everybody's going to have things to work on. Everybody has some good things that they can point to as well. But Fresno State pulling out the upset, not really a surprise to me. Surprise to Purdue fans, probably. Surprise to a lot of people that pay attention to maybe just kind of the Power Five surface level kind of teams and the group of five isn't on their radar. But Fresno State, if they are on your schedule, you definitely have to be worried about the potential of an upset. And Jeff Tedford's squad proved that tonight.